Well, Gary, a difficult tie on paper, and so it proved to be this afternoon.
Yeah, tricky tie on paper, John, but John, very, very, very disappointed. As a manager, responsibility, never hide, never shirk in any way or form, always be honest. We've lost our way. We've lost our way. We've got players who are lower on confidence in some ways. Some players are lacking consistency. We're not doing enough, John. And I feel very, very disappointed today. Not low or anything like that. I've had 4.5 wonderful years with Steve Thompson at the club. Great relationship with the supporters. They backed us. They love us in every way or form. They've shown the support where we took the club to. But we are in a period now at the football club where we, as a management team, me as a manager, we'll have to take a lot of responsibility for the players who are taken out on going out on the park to do a lot better, because today is not acceptable or good enough. And we've got to ask a few questions now, John. There's not much really in one way between now and the transfer window in January you can do. We're in a position where we are financially, but John, as a football club, we haven't done enough and we've got a lot of work to do.
And of course, Gary, you got off to the worst possible start, didn't you? Conceding to that wonder strike from Kieran Forbes.
Yeah, we've got off to a bad start, John, but you know, there's 80 odd minutes to go after that. We probably had 70% possession in the first half, had a couple of shots. They didn't really cause us too many problems. We had the slope second half, but we committed suicide. Mate. You know, number one thing in cup football, you make sure that you stay in the game, and if you have to gamble, you can push players forward and get into areas later on in the game when time's running out. But 10 minutes in the second half, John, we were going forward in one direction, give the ball away cheaply, and all of a sudden there seemed great big holes and gaps, and all of a sudden it was 2-0, and before we brushed ourselves down it was 3-0. And you know, John, you can't look or try to defend football players, or as a manager try and defend yourself in any way or form. I have to take a lot of responsibility with the players. At the end of the day, the supporters have been shortchanged in a big way. I'm not happy about it. I'm at the football club till May 2017. I'm not going nowhere as far as I'm concerned. I've had opportunities in the past when things have been going well. We're in a sticky wicket at the moment, but one thing's for sure, I will roll my sleeves up and dig deep, and I will get players out there, whatever it is or whatever it comes to, who want to play for Woking Football Club. And if they do want to play for Woking Football Club, they will show that with their effort and commitment.
And I imagine very frustrating as well, Gary, that you've had an awful lot of possession today, but without any real penetration.
We're lacking up top, John. We ain't got the quality there. Scotty's a big blow, there's no doubt about that. But we ain't hurting teams when we are, as you correctly say, having a lot of possession in teams where we should be. So, John, there's a lot of hard work to be done, mate, and it starts straight away. That's where it is now, mate.
And you must be almost scratching your head in disbelief, because it wasn't so long ago that, you know, this team put in that very vibrant performance against Forest Green, but then since then the wheels have come off somewhat.
John, as soon as we go 1-0 down, we find it tough. You know, we seem to find it very, very tough that when we go 1-0 down, we ain't got no leaders, or not many leaders. We lost a lot of experienced players, we lost a lot of good players. You know, we started the season very brightly. I was very concerned, I must be honest, after, you know, losing the players what we had last year and then having the major injuries, but we seem to come through it. But all of a sudden we've got ourselves in a picture now, John, where there's got to be changes one way or another, and we've all got to work hard together.
And next up, Gary, an away game at Kidderminster, and not enjoying the best of fortunes so far this season.
Well, that's two sides or two clubs, whatever way you look at it. It becomes a big game next week, John. Number one thing for us at the moment is now to get us 50 points. Battle to get 50 points as quick as we can this season, because as a football club at the moment, I'm afraid to say, we're being, you know, shortchanged in respect to results and performances on the pitch. So me and Steve Thompson have got a lot of work to do, we've got to answer a lot of open questions. We'll be honest, that's one thing that's sure. So, but I'm very, very, very disappointed for the supporters and everybody who works so hard at the football club, volunteers, sponsors, supporters, directors, chairman, whatever you name, kitmen, physio. I am absolutely very, very disappointed in every way or form, and I hope some of them go home tonight, and whether they do or not, I don't know, but they've got to take a good hard look at themselves, because it's hurting me bad now and I've got a lot of work to do.
Lovely, thank you very much, Gary. Safe journey home.
Cheers.